I'm Tracy Baxter with today's Record Newswatch. Police in Ulster County got the break they needed when a vehicle matching the description of a bank robbery getaway vehicle was found outside a residence on Route 212 in the town of Shandaken, just a couple of miles from the bank. Police moved in and arrested 54-year-old Nicholas Liakis for the armed robbery of the community bank in Boiceville earlier in the day Wednesday. Police say Liakis walked into the bank, pulled a handgun, and drove off with an undisclosed amount of cash. 5 employees and a customer were inside at the time. Officials in the Ulster County Sheriff's Office said the pellet gun allegedly used in the robbery, as well as the stolen money, were recovered. Liakis is being held without bail on charges of first-degree robbery, first-degree criminal use of a firearm, grand larceny, and criminal possession of stolen property. He admitted to secretly recording women and teenage girls using the bathrooms at the Orange County Fair Speedway. Today, 23-year-old Mitchell Lindsay of Dutchess County was sentenced to 6 months in jail and 5 years probation. Lindsay had pleaded guilty to 11 felony counts of unlawful surveillance. Last May and June, he used his cell phone that he stuck through a gap in the restroom wall to record the women using the bathroom. Prosecutors had asked for prison time, but Lindsay's attorney said his client had expressed remorse and has been in therapy to address his issues. State police have determined what caused yesterday's deadly 7-vehicle crash that left 1 driver dead and 6 others injured on the thruway northbound in the town of Woodbury. Police say a chain reaction collision developed after a thruway plow truck pulled over because of a smoking engine compartment. The smoke reduced visibility, causing collisions. And in one instance, a car came to a near stop and was rear-ended by a tractor-trailer rig. The driver of that car, 53-year-old Mark Becker of Hillsdale, New Jersey, was killed. The northbound lanes were closed for hours. No charges have been filed pending the conclusion of the investigation. He has his supporters. Friends of accused cockfighting ringleader Moises Cruz came to Plattekill Town Court last evening to dispute charges that Cruz ran a cockfighting training farm on Plattekill Ardonia Road. Cruz faces felony charges of animal fighting. The farm, where he served as manager, was raided earlier this month, and authorities seized thousands of birds. Cruz was arrested in the state of Florida. At yesterday's court appearance, he forfeited his passport and his bail was reduced to $5,000. His friends are standing by him, saying the charges against him are bogus and the Cruz may have been unaware of any illegal activity. Elsewhere, a Sullivan County employee has been suspended from her job for bringing marijuana to her place of employment. The Sullivan County Sheriff's Office says 33-year-old Desiree Prairie of Livingston Manor, an account clerk with the Department of Family Services based in Liberty, left her handbag unattended in a public waiting area. And when sheriff's security officers discovered the bag and began looking for identification, they found about 19 grams of marijuana. Prairie returned to the waiting room to claim her handbag just as the officers were making the pot discovery. Prairie's been charged with unlawful possession of marijuana. She'd been working for the county for about 6 months. They say the governor's state budget proposal seriously shortchanges school districts across the state. And yesterday, members of 2 education advocacy groups, the Alliance for Quality Education and the Campaign for Fiscal Equity, came to the Middletown School District, the latest stop in their statewide tour, to draw attention to what they say has been a constant underfunding of school districts. And they're calling on state legislators to increase the $600 million in additional education funding proposed by the governor to $1.9 billion. Middletown School Superintendent Ken Eastwood said federal funding they've received has temporarily eased the crisis in the Middletown district, but he says the current year's state aid, just over $40 million, is about $50 million below where it should be.
Middletown would not be what it is today if we did not aggressively go after the federal funds. Over the last 10 years that I've been here, we've brought about $50 million in federal funds alone into this district, and it's those funds that have been able for us to beat the odds for our kids. Now, isn't that a sad situation that we actually have to go to the federal government, bring in temporary funds in order to set up programs to beat the odds? and our own state has not addressed our needs. That's what drives me nuts here. The issue here is constitutional requirement. The reality is the governor of this state and the legislature have blown off constitutional requirements. That's a sad indictment on the politics of New York State and education today.
Both the Alliance for Quality Education and the Campaign for Fiscal Equity say they will file suit if legislators don't make meaningful changes in the state education aid numbers. A New Paltz woman was being treated for a serious ankle injury at Westchester Medical Center today following a car pedestrian accident that happened this morning in a parking lot of the SUNY New Paltz campus. College officials say Mary Eileen Osowski, a longtime volunteer at the SUNY New Paltz Dorsky Museum of Art, was struck by the car in the Haggerty administration parking lot. The driver, identified only as a SUNY New Paltz student, was ticketed at the time of the accident. Rabbi J.J. Hecht of Ellenville is back from Sochi, Russia, where he served as a spiritual advisor to Olympic athletes, and he brought back with him the Ulster County flag he displayed at the Olympic venue. Ulster County Executive Michael Hines says the flag will be flown over the county office building throughout the month of March and will then be displayed at the Ellenville Public Library and Museum. And our most recent snowstorm led to the 3-day state of emergency in the city of Kingston, where workers struggled to remove snow from streets and municipal parking lots. Now Mayor Shane Gallo is planning to introduce a series of reforms to deal with some of the post-storm complaints. Mayor says he wants to increase the use of alternate side parking in snow emergencies and dismiss tickets issued for vehicles that were parked in the uptown municipal lots on February 5th and 6th, and reimburse residents for towing fees because they were only given an hour's notice to move their cars on those days. It'll be bitterly cold again tonight, and sunshine tomorrow will not warm things up much. The Friday forecast is for temperatures to reach only about 20 degrees under a mostly sunny sky. Saturday will be mostly cloudy, not quite as cold, with the highs in the middle 30s. And we're watching the track of a storm that could bring us accumulations of snow late Sunday into Monday. We'll keep clicking here at Record Online for breaking news as well as updated weather information. And for Record Newswatch, I'm Tracy Baxter.